unfortunately, we make changes when bad shit happens. And that's pretty much when it happened to me. At the age of 26, I overcame a huge trauma. Then I graduated as a dentist. Then I started building my company. I had major professional challenges. And then I was like, you know what? In order for me to get to the next level, I got to evolve personally.
I didn't think I would ever do a fucking podcast. I didn't ever imagine doing that. It made me realize that my purpose is to help others reach the goals and reach their full capacity. And if I can impact somebody's life, that is bigger than money. That is bigger than anything else.
Welcome to Lifestream. I'm your host, Dr. Alex Plains, with my co-host, Jeremy Applegate, where we teach you how to stream your life. Welcome, Jeremy. Happy Friday. How you doing, my man?
Happy Friday. Hey, did you see what's going on in Hawaii?
With the
fires?
I heard you were telling me something about it yesterday.
That's insane. I mean,
well, let's pray for them.
No doubt. That's crazy.
And I heard something about the Sahara sands also in the air.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, yep. It's part of the universe.
Yes, it is.
Maybe it's sending us some signals.
Maybe.
To be good people, to care for one another and be kind.
I like how you just, hey, right there. Everybody hear that.
And express gratitude.
Express gratitude. That's a big one.
Well, thank you, Jeremy, for being here today.
Thank you.
So we have some Q&As today.
Yes, we do.
Some of our listeners have been putting some questions over the last couple months, and I'm excited to share some of my knowledge. Hopefully it can be insightful.
Yeah, so we have a question. The first question is, Dr. Plains, at what point in your life did you decide to focus on your self-development? What key factors impacted that decision?
Wow, that's a great question. That's a very good question. So I've always done a lot of reading professionally till I was around 33 years old.
Okay.
But in order for you to overcome a lot of obstacles in life, I realized that you need to have a lot of personal fortitude, and you have to be very, very strong and resilient. So I always was very resilient. I was always very disciplined, and I was always very committed. But I always had challenges of overcoming obstacles in my life and barriers that confronted me. And I would become very reactive. I was like, why is this happening to me? And it would crash my day. It would crash my week. It would crash even sometimes months at a time. So at that point, I realized, in order for me to take my company to the next level and grow my team personally and professionally, I had to start becoming the best leader and best mentor I could be. And that's where my road to personal development started. So at the age of 33 years old.
Okay.
But in order for that to happen, I had to go through a lot of bad shit. A lot of bad things had to happen in order for me to wake up and be like, hey, it's time to start focusing on you as a person and remove those insecurities and those issues that you have from childhood.
I think you said something interesting there, and I think that piece of it, you had a lot of bad juju happen. I think people have troubles recognizing bad juju. When does it start and how long has it been going? And they're like, oh, that's not a big deal.
Haven't you ever heard that people say, like, why does this happen to me? Why doesn't it happen to, Joe down the street? I always get the tough end of the stick. Let me tell you something, guys. Everyone has their problems. Some people just get it in different variants. But God is always testing you in order for you to be resilient, in order for you to overcome those obstacles when they come to your life. When Gus was here, Gus had a very great life. I mean, he had issues growing up with his father, but he was confronted with the challenge of his son.
Yeah.
And Gus was always used to a pretty cush life. He never lacked, food, shelter. He was always very smart, went to amazing schools. He had his issues with his father, but, he told me that his life changed and his way of appreciation and gratitude and helping others completely evolved when Ethan was born.
Yeah.
So normally, unfortunately, we make changes when bad shit happens. And that's pretty much when it happened to me. At the age of 26, I overcame a huge trauma. Then I graduated as a dentist. Then I started building my company. I had major professional challenges. And then I was like, you know what? In order for me to get to the next level, I got to evolve personally.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think that people just need to understand that. Like, you have to. We talk about self-development, and I know but that's not going to go away because that's relevant to the success of you as a person and you as an entrepreneur. I mean, period.
Yeah, and you got to be, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you definitely got to be ready for bad things to happen.
Yes.
They're constantly happening. I mean, yesterday I had a dental assistant that quit. A week ago I had HR issues. The week before that, we lost $20,000 in an incorrect billing claim. All that type of stuff is going to happen to you. And you have to be resilient and have amazing mental fortitude. And if you're not ready to do that, then I recommend you start working on yourself and fixing those issues before you become an entrepreneur.
And we've said this before, being an entrepreneur is not rainbows and roses. It's not all the sexy stuff you see on Instagram.
No, it's a lot of goddamn hard work. It's a hard work, and then you also got to evaluate it. Like, I was listening to a podcast last night by Alex Hormozi. He's actually on YouTube. It's great. It's a great podcast. I totally recommend it. I'll include it on the link of this YouTube or Instagram, wherever we post it. But he basically talks that not only, it's not because there's people that work really, really hard. I mean, look at the Chinese. I mean, who works harder than the Chinese?
Nobody.
It's very, very hard. I mean, they're pretty much working 14 to 16 hours a day. What matters is how much effort you put to that amount of time that you're working. And what is the quality of your work? If you're in sales, right, you're going to do 100 leads. You're going to call 100, but I call 100. What is going to make me stand out versus you? Is it going to be the offer? Is it going to be the pitch? What is going to make the difference?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we're doing the same amount of leads. We're both working equally as hard. So I would recommend that you listen to the Alex Hormozi YouTube. It's great, and it's I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. Good answer for sure. The next question is, so I've been really looking to scale my business, and I need to know when to scale. I have been consistently clearing $250K in revenue on an annual basis.
That take home, or just gross sales?
No, that's the gross sales for his company.
Okay.
He can't get over the hump. He's been doing that consistently for the last few years. Any suggestions on how to increase annual revenue and scale his business?
Right now, I wouldn't think about scaling in no way, shape, or form. I would perfect what is going on. I would figure out, is it lack of human capital? Is your product not good enough? Is your service not good enough? You got to evaluate your company and figure out what is the market opportunities. He or she needs to identify the market opportunities and make a decision if scaling is the way to go. But I wouldn't think about scaling at this point. I would figure out how to increase the amount of collections, gross sales coming through the business before even thinking of scaling.
Yeah, I think he maybe needs to reevaluate his marketing plan.
Yeah, figure out how he's marketing and his product. I don't know. I'm not sure what industry he's in, but if he's selling a product or it's a service, it's all very different.
Yeah, 100%. The last question is, I am currently doing implants. Obviously, this is from a dentist. But I want to offer the services to more patients. What will be the process to increase my patient base for implant service in my office?
Great question. And I hope I can answer this one for you because this is very passionate to me. So the first thing I would do is that, how good are you of a surgeon? What is your quality? Are you doing a great job? Your success rate above 95%? If it is, perfect. I would go ahead and see what your market is. What is your median age income, right?
Okay. Yep.
What is your demographic? Are they 50 to 60, 20 to 30, 60 to 80? You got to evaluate that. There's a report called the Practice Analysis Report, which will show you that. Then after that, you go ahead and you market. You start marketing. You start taking videos of you. You start branding yourself. You start focusing on good ads. You got a great marketing company to help you do that. And obviously, the more new patients you get in, then you got to improve your closing process. Who's your closer? What are you doing to close the sale? Because it is a sale at the end of the day, or the service. What are you doing? How many insurances do you offer? So it's a very loaded question, and that's part of the reason we formed the Implants for All Institute.
That's true.
Which soon I'll have some exciting news about that as well. But you got to be able to identify that and figure out how your sale is going to look like at the end.
Yeah, I think dentists really struggle with the sales aspect of that, because they think, patient care is patient care, of course. But when you guys start swallowing that word and understanding that, you're selling a service, your team is selling a service, getting comfortable with that is going to be beneficial to you in the future.
Yeah, of course. And you got to believe in what you're doing. You're replacing multiple teeth, even a whole mouthful of teeth with this one procedure.
Yep.
Right? So you got to believe in your service, in the product that you're giving it. Your team needs to be on board. Those are all questions that you need to ask your team. You got to have a serious conversation with them and be like, hey, guys, I'm thinking of exploding my practice doing dental implants. I want to serve the community in a different fashion than general dentistry. Are you guys on board with this? They're going to ask you questions like, implants are very complicated. Guys, I got it. I already have it figured out. I got the training that is necessary. I believe in myself. I'm ready to start marketing it. And you got to be willing to put a lot of money into marketing if you really want to grow. And you don't have to put a lot of money. Maybe my goals are not the same as yours or vice versa, but you've got to definitely be willing to invest in the professional aspect of it.
Yeah, and I think that it's not going to happen overnight. We talk to our clients with the Implants for All Institute, and it's
a lot of hard work.
It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it takes time. I've been doing this for 10 years now, plus 2 years of residency, plus hundreds of hours of continuing education. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you're thinking of doing it, I say go for it and don't waste any more time, because you're not going to get that time back.
I love how you said that, because we get a lot of overthinkers. We get a lot of overanalysers.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, it's a situation where they overthink and they can't make a decision and they cripple themselves. Yeah. Go for it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. Stop talking about it.
And just get it done. Remember, you only have 24 hours a day. And if I give you $24 and I take $1 every single time you waste an hour, you're going to be pretty upset at me at the end of the day.
You're going to be broke.
That's right. So you got to invest in it and go for it. That's like Jeremy was saying. You just got to do it. Well, guys, I hope I answered all your questions. Any other questions for me today?
No, that was the 3 questions today.
All right, beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed the question, and please feel free to send me back any feedback or any additional questions. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Thank you.